Next up, we play Florence Price's final piece that she wrote. She passed away in 1953, and this was her final composition. It was for piano and never orchestrated by her, but William Grant Still, the gentleman whose first symphony we played back in September, the Afro-American Symphony, he orchestrated it, and that's what you'll be hearing tonight, his orchestration of Florence Price's dances and the cane breaks, which is 3 short movements based on ballroom dances and rags. The first movement is a rag. It'll harken to the sound of Scott Joplin. Then we have Tropical Noon, which of course slows everything down one more time. We finish with a cakewalk. It's called Satin Hat and Walking Cane, a little play on words with what a cakewalk, a style of song that we would have been familiar with back in the 20s and 30s, and that she's utilized here in the suite of dances for the cane breaks. Great to make sure that this music is part of the lexicon of music that we listen to. We're all very familiar with Bach, Brahms, and Beethoven, but Cambrian Symphony has made a big point to continue to expand what audiences are used to listening to when they come to the concert hall, and Florence Price is one of our great American composers that was lost a bit to history, and we're making sure that as many of the orchestras now, as we become aware of all the things that were lost historically due to representation of minorities, that we are now making sure to right those wrongs and include them in all the programs. It's really no excuse at this point if we didn't know things in the 1980s. It's because we didn't have the internet. We know things now, and we have lots of resources to expend upon them, and it's with great honor that we bring these pieces to the stage. Before we move into playing her piece, I just wanted to mention what we have on stage. We're going to have a very brief sort of intermission as we move percussion around for Beethoven, but I just want to let you know what Cambrian is. If you're a first-time person ever in for a Cambrian Symphony concert, would you just clap your hands if this is your first Cambrian Symphony concert? All right. Great. Well, welcome, and then on live stream we always have new folks just popping in, which is great to have both options for everybody. The Cambrian Symphony, this is an all-volunteer orchestra. Everyone you see on stage, myself included, this is all just an organization that we put together to give access to our audiences here in San Jose. We want to, of course, support all the major symphonies, whether it's San Francisco, Oakland, or all the other great orchestras in the Bay Area. But we also know that not all of our community can go to those concerts, either because they're too far away or too expensive. As a teacher in the public schools, we want to make sure that access is something that everyone has. And so this orchestra functions as a place of access, which is why we have no fees for any of our concerts. We've given over 25 free concerts now and had, I'm not sure what the numbers would be for thousands of people who have been able to enjoy them, but it makes us feel really proud that as a part of the San Jose community, we've been able to offer that. And we want to keep offering that. Each concert costs us about $7,000, from the rentals of the hall to the rentals of the music. Our concert in April, the music rights alone are about $2,000. And when we're trying to bring music to the stage that's not in the public domain, Beethoven's in the public domain. Any piece of music that's over 100 years old is free. But if we're looking at composers that were sort of lost in the last century, those come with rental agreements. And so if you already donated tonight, thank you so much. If you'd like to consider donating to keep these programs free for all the folks that come in here and on the live stream, we of course would appreciate that. And everything on Eventbrite is shut down for the night, but you can just go to our website, cambriansymphony.org, and there's a donate button, and of course we'd be very, very grateful for that. Also on stage, you might notice that there's a wide range of ages, some more obvious than others, and that's also important. This is a mentoring orchestra, since again in the public schools, thanks to Prop 28, there's going to be some changes, certainly for arts education in the state. But we've had program after program cut over the last 40 years, and so access to the arts has been pretty minimal in the public schools, and there's some programs that exist, but they usually start in 6th or 7th or 8th grade, which means that they don't have access to music or art until later on in their life, which means that for all the private orchestras, whether it's for the private youth orchestras, a lot of those students can't be competitive, because a lot of the students that attend those organizations start when they're 4 or 5 or 6 years old and have access to lessons. So this orchestra is also designed to allow for those students who start later in life, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, to be joining us here and have side-by-side mentorship with our fantastic adult musicians. And it's always nice to recognize them. I'd like to just have anybody that's 18 or under, if they would please stand up and be acknowledged for all the hard work that they put in for tonight. All the 18 and under crowd. And then I'd like you to keep standing if it's your 15 and under. 15 and under? 15 or under, stand on up. 15 or under. And go ahead and stay standing if you're 13 or under. 13 or under. And in the back of the bass section, nice job tonight. And we're going to assume everyone else is under 30. So that's the Cambrian Symphony. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the rest of our show.